In an exclusive interview, First Judicial District Attorney Steve Finney speaks for the first time about how he plans to prosecute alleged serial rapist Sean Williams. Williams is accused of drugging and raping dozens of women between 2018 and 2021. After Williams was sentenced to 90 years in prison on federal charges earlier this year, Finney said his office remains committed to hold Williams accountable on the state level as well. News Channel 11's Jeff Keeling sat down with the district attorney who talks about the challenges in this case. Jeff?
Yeah, Casey, a lot of people want to know whether and when First District Attorney General Steve Finney is going to prosecute that alleged serial rapist Sean Williams.
Everybody that watches or reads the media, it's his constant question wherever I go.
One with a brief answer.
Can't talk about it. We'll get him eventually.
Police in North Carolina turned over files allegedly showing Williams sexually assaulting dozens of unconscious women in his Johnson City apartment after arresting him almost 2 years ago on unrelated charges. Investigator Mike Little has continued working the cases since that point in 2023.
Mike spent the whole Memorial Day weekend identifying victims. We've been trying to get with victims since then. Some with ease and some without. There's still some out there, and if they want to come forward, they are more than welcome. This door's open.
Any prosecutions will come after Williams's federal cases are over. Finney hopes that could be by the end of this year.
You got to look at resources, whether you try 7, 5, 10, 20 individually, or if you try them all together under a common scheme.
Evidence shared so far suggests a common scheme of Williams enticing, drugging, and then sexually assaulting dozens of women while the female victims were in an obvious state of unconsciousness. Legally, though,
a very tight rule of law in the state of Tennessee. I've seen it done in other places. I've never seen it done here, which means they've got to be very similar in how they happen.
Finney said some victims are just glad to know they were heard and that Williams already has an effective life sentence.
He's got what he's going to get, and there'll be others that don't want to pursue it. And of course we're going to take that into consideration.
The women his office has served in this case are seldom far from his thoughts.
It's the hardest part of my job. You just can't turn it off. If it's not this, it's some other issue. And it goes in cycles. I had a whole lot of thoughts about it when he escaped. Not very good thoughts.
Finney told me his prosecutors and investigators continue actively working on the cases against Williams, and they're looking forward to seeing the 53-year-old in a courtroom in the very county he's alleged to have victimized so many women.